Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. How do we say Merry Christmas in your local language? Let me know. Well, this is my banging Zongo stew recipe that I want to share with everyone here, okay? Now I paired this Zongo stew with my rice and beans, which was so good, by the way. I underestimated how good this is going to be. I'm going to share that recipe as well. Just stay tuned, okay? Now I added some eggs and some beef and all the other things that you can ever imagine. And let me know what you're going to pair this with when you make yours, okay? Let's get started. Now, first off, you're going to need your fresh tomato mix. And I'm using 8 fresh tomatoes, 1 red bell pepper, and some red chilies. Or you can use green chilies, any of them. But I just want the stuff to be red. And this is my onions. Now, listen. Zongo stew is all about onions. You need a lot of onions for it, so I'm using 5 large ones. And this is my stew base mix or my pepper mix that I can use to steam my meat and everything. Now I'm going to blend that pepper mix. Now we have here KPAKPOSHITO, some bell pepper, some ginger garlic, some onions, some carrots, some bay leaf. You can add rosemary, add some water and blend this. You're going to blend this till it's very, very smooth, and this is what we have. Now for our onions, I'm going to chop them into small sizes or any sizes, anyhow, because we're going to use our manual blender to chop it. Now, what I learned from the houses is that they normally cut their onions and their tomatoes when they're making their stew because they don't want the stew to be too smooth. So I'm just using that method. I'm using my food processor to chop this into smaller sizes or make it like chopped onions. Do you get it? Yeah, if you don't have a food processor, you can use your blender. Just don't add water to it. Otherwise, you can just cut it into very, very small sizes and make your stew. I'm going to use the same method for my tomatoes, and I'm not going to remove the seeds out of it because I need the seeds in this recipe. Now I added my bell pepper and my red pepper, and I'm going to chop that as well. Now this is what we have. This is the perfect method. You don't need to add water because there's a lot of water in the tomatoes already, so you just need that water for your stew. Now I'm using some cow meat and some whey for this recipe. You can use goat's meat or any protein you like, and I'm going to add in some of the pepper mix I blended and my seasonings. I'm using some Remy chicken and beef, some seasoning cube, and some Egye Aware3 spice. Yeah, and that's what we're going to use to season our meat. And this is what we have. Now, once that meat is well seasoned, you're going to fry it in hot oil, okay? Probably you can deep fry or shallow fry. Any of them will work for you perfectly. Now, for the Hausa stew or the Zongo stew, you want to fry the meat so it is very dry like this. The meat is supposed to look just like this, dry and well fried. If possible, you can even fry it longer than I have fried it here because you want that flavor to stay in the oil so that you can use that oil to make your stew. Now in the same oil, adding the chopped onions that you blended earlier or grinded or chopped, anyhow you want to name it. Now the trick I use is I made some a little bit smooth and a little bit rough like this. So we have 2 textures here. Now everything is going into that oil and you're going to fry it. If you don't use a lot of onions, you are not going to get the Zongo stew taste that you want. The onions is the main ingredient here in this recipe. Now begin to fry it till it is well fried. Then you are going to add in some of the pepper mix that we use to season that meat because you want to build some flavor here, okay? If possible, you can even grind the ginger and the garlic and pour it into that because you want that typical taste, local Zongo stew taste. Yeah, now cover this and let it fry as well, and then you're going to add in your tomato paste. Now let me tell you all about Pomo and Gino. Now Pomo and Gino are having this Egye Aware3 promo where you can win big, like you can win a fridge, appliances, and even a free kitchen makeover. Now run to that promo page on Instagram and check everything about this Egye Aware3 promo. You will love it. Now add in that promo tomato paste, and then you're going to give this a good mix with the onions and the pepper mix, okay? Let that fry as well and cover it so that the oil can settle on top a bit, okay? Now, let me tell you this. Zongo stew is all about frying, okay? They normally fry their stew. They don't boil their stew. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add in the fresh tomatoes and bell peppers that you blended earlier and give this a good mix as well. Now, nothing is stopping you from blending everything to become smooth. You can use that method. However, this method is really, really nice for your Zongo stew because you can literally taste that typical Haja stew when you go with this exact method. Now, what I did is I added in some freshly chopped KPAKPOSHITO. I used my food processor to make this as well, and this is just going to bring out that spicy flavor in your stew. It is really nice. You can do without it, or you can go ahead and add in powdered pepper. That's okay, but this method is the best. Okay, now zongo stew, it takes a long time, approximately 1 hour 30 minutes to 2 hours to cook. Okay, now you're building the color here, so we're going to season that, and here we have some Dawadawa, Egye Aware3, some Remy chicken, Remy beef, some Maggi cube, some bay leaf powder, rosemary powder, and then any natural spices that you want to add. Okay, now zongo stew is also about spices, and Dawadawa is a very, very important spice in zongo stew. You can't do without it. Now, right after you season that stew, go ahead and add in the meat stock and the wele into that stew, and then just give it a good mix and cover it. Now, you know what the stock does? It brings out that meat flavor in the stew. The stew will be tasting so good, like you would love it. Now, cover it and let it fry for another 15 to 20 minutes. And this is what we have. Now you can add shrimp powder to this. That will make the color very dark. That's lovely as well. But I'm going in with this color and I love it already. Now we're going to just add in our fried cow meat into the stew and give it a good mix as well. This stew is looking so good. At this point, I just wanted to eat this with my rice and beans. It was good. Trust me. Now, what I'm going to do is add in some fried boiled eggs. Yes, they call it dragon eggs, by the way. This egg is so good. I like it. Like when you boil your egg and you fry it. Perfect. Cover the stew and let our stew cook well for another 15 minutes. I'm sure you guys are saying, hey, I've had a stew and being that zongo stew, it takes a long time to cook, but it is perfect the way it is, okay? Now, I know some people that will keep cooking the stew after this, because they want it to be black, but I like the color this way, and it's perfect like this. Now, this stew is ready to be served, and I'm going to pair this with my rice and beans, which I said earlier, I have a recipe on it, and I'm going to post it by tomorrow. Now, I'm going to add in some spaghetti, because, hey, you can't eat zongo stew without spaghetti, no. Now, I'm going to add in some kelewele or some fried plantains. How do you like your plantains? Do you like it so soft, or do you like it moderate? I like mine hard. So this plantain that you see here, I couldn't eat it, because I like my plantain, like, hard. That's how I like it. Now, I added in some lettuce, and I'm adding in my dragon eggs or my fried boiled eggs, and I'm going to add in that zongo stew. This stew was looking good, and the taste, it was so good. My mom was even calling me Haja because yes, I did that. I was so happy, guys. So when you try this recipe, make sure you send me videos. You can text me anywhere on my social media pages, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, everywhere. I'm going to respond to everyone, okay? And don't forget to join the Pomo and Gino Enija Bafi campaign. Like, follow, subscribe. Bye.